Peace and welcome to a special episode of Oddly Familiar. Today we have a little bit of a theory as well as some possible proof. The question is, do Streets of Rage and Final Fight 2 happen in the same area, or was Capcom sticking it to Sega? Final Fight was originally released in December of 1989, with its sequel coming out 4 years later in May of 1993. Between these two releases, you had Streets of Rage in August of 91 and Streets of Rage 2 in 1992. They were clearly inspired by Final Fight. Many things were changed, but it did have the same feel. A beat-em-up game where you walk down the street and beat up any bad guy that comes your way. Now when we take a look at the cover for Streets of Rage 1, you will notice a lady wearing white kicking what looks to be a poor man's Jason Voorhees in the face. Now let's take a look at the Final Fight 2 cover. If you mirror the image of the lady in white, you have this lady in red. The only real difference being the clothes and the color of those clothes. And you may say that could be a coincidence considering there is a movie named Sister Street Fighter that was released in 1974 that has the exact same jump kick. There is a chance that Capcom used the jump kick from Sister Street Fighter and not Streets of Rage. But let's dig a little deeper. Now let's take a look at the sewer from the Final Fight 2 box art. There is this green person inside holding the man cover up and peeking out at the mayhem. Now let's compare that to the Streets of Rage box art. There is another manhole with another green person inside peeking out. They are a little bit different, a small change in the angle of the manhole cover, but that's not a very drastic difference. And if that wasn't enough, let's yet again dig even deeper. Looking at the Final Fight 2 cover, you see two people that look to be fighting, and one has the upper hand bending the other person halfway out of the window. So let's go back to the Streets of Rage box art. If we zoom in and you check out these two people in the window, it's even more clear now. It looks like a person with the upper hand bending the other person halfway out of the window, yet again. Now if you want to say all of these are coincidence so far, well, I have yet another one for you. Take a look at this guy near the middle of the cover. The one holding the knife that looks like he is falling down from a possible kick or punch. Whatever the case may be, let's now take a look at the Streets of Rage 2 box art. You can see almost the exact same guy. The Final Fight guy has a blue headband instead of red, but you see the same Rambo knife, the same denim jacket, and of course, the same falling position. Last but not least, and this one may be the least similar of them all, you have this guy that the Sister Street Fighter is jump kicking, and on Streets of Rage 2, you have a little bit of a similar pose with the guy getting his legs kicked out from under him. It's not by Sister Street Fighter this time, but it is a female. So, I propose two scenarios. Streets of Rage and Final Fight take place on the same street, so you see a lot of the same things. Or, Capcom got a little revenge. Streets of Rage took inspiration from Final Fight, so perhaps Capcom did to Sega what Sega did to Capcom. I will let you guys decide for yourself, but I personally think Capcom was sticking it to Sega for making such a similar game. And don't get it twisted now, I'm not hating on Streets of Rage or Final Fight. I like both of these franchises, and both have their pros and cons. Final Fight has Hagar, one of my favorite characters in any beat-em-up game. And Streets of Rage has Yuzo Koshiro, one of my favorite composers. I won't be choosing one or the other. I enjoy playing both of these franchises, and that's the great part about not being a fanboy. I can enjoy any game as long as it's fun. To me, that's what gaming is all about. Anyways, that's all for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It's not your typical episode, but I think we will be doing some more like this in the future. Submissions that need an entire episode. So shout out to gold level patron Zero Briggs. I am ICC. Thanks for watching. Peace.